going to take this off, everybody, because I can hear me better, and I have social distancing from DJ. Just want to mention tomorrow morning here at St. Ferdinand's we'll begin confirmations. There are 5 of them because of a number of students among the 3 churches in our grouping. So the very first group is going to be tomorrow here at St. Ferdinand. So we keep our mostly 8th graders who are about to be confirmed in our prayers. A man and his wife had their first child, and it was a boy. And the father was just ecstatic. And his wife was sleeping, so he walked down the hall. He wanted to get a close look at his son. And he looked through the window, and there were a bunch of these babies in bassinets, and they all looked the same. So he went and got the nurse, and the nurse went in and stood by the bassinet where his little boy, his first child, was laying. And at first he was so excited, but then he was horrified because this little baby had really big ears. And the man thought to himself, oh, this is terrible, because he's going to grow up and people are going to make fun of him, and they're going to call him names. They're going to call him Dumbo. So a little bit dejected, he walked back to his wife's room, didn't say anything. And she woke up, and the nurse brought the little baby back and put him in her mother's arms. And the mother looked at the little boy and then looked at his father, and she said all of a sudden, oh, honey, look, he has your ears. Well, in our baptism, we have Christ's ears. We have his face. We have his eyes. We have his hands. We have his heart. And we celebrate today, on the eve of the Assumption, one of our great saints who really, really was an image of Christ. He was born in 1894. His name was Raymond Mary Colby. And as he grew up, he had a great devotion to Mary, his middle name. And he became a Franciscan, and when he became a Franciscan, he took the name Maximilian. And so we know him today as Maximilian Mary Kolbe. He was very smart. They sent him to Rome. He got a doctorate in philosophy and theology. But his heart wasn't in the classroom. It was really with the people on the streets. And when he got back to Poland, he realized that the problem in the church in Poland was indifference. People were filled with apathy. And so he wanted to find a way to get people excited about their faith. So he founded this organization dedicated to Mary. And by 1935-36, it had 1 million members. Well, in 1939, Germany invaded Poland, and they quickly took all the Jews and put them in the concentration camp there called Auschwitz. But gradually, over the next couple of years, they rounded up all of the important people in Poland, and one of them was Maximilian Kolbe. So in 1941, he was taken to Auschwitz. He wasn't even there 3 months. They put him in cell block 14. They didn't even give him a name. He just had a number, 16670. And he wasn't there 3 months when a prisoner escaped from cell block 14, and the German commandant wanted to make an example. So he said, because you let this person escape, I am going to execute 10 of you. And he counted them all off. And as they were going into the death house, one of the persons picked to be executed cried out, please don't take me. I am a father. I have a wife. I have a child. Well, that's when number 16670 stepped forward. And Maximilian Kolbe said, I'll take his place. And the commandant said, who are you? And he said, I'm a priest. So they took him in with the other 9 people, and he died of lethal injection, and his body was burned. On October 10th, 1982, Pope John Paul II, the Polish Pope, canonized Maximilian Mary Kolbe. And on that occasion, he embraced a man named Francis Gawłaniczek. Francis Gawłaniczek was the man whose place Maximilian took, and he lived 53 years after that day. So Maximilian gave him 53 years of life, and he gave Maximilian eternal life. He imitated Jesus as he laid down his life for a friend. Someone asked Mother Teresa one day if she knew the Gospels. She said, "Oh yeah, I know the Gospels. I know them like the palm of my hand." And the man said, "Well, you're so busy. You're traveling all over the place. Where did you have time to study the Gospels?" And she just raised her right hand and she said, "Look at these 5 fingers. He did it for me." That's the Gospel. And that's Maximilian Kolbe. And that's what we're all called to be. He did it for me. Thanks, everybody, and have a good day and a good weekend.